And joining us now is Tom Fitton, the president of Judicial Watch, who has been working hard to get more information about what was on Hillary's email server. I mean, you know, Congress can't get any answers, but Judicial Watch, by going through the court system and pursuing the documents through the Freedom of Information Act, they're making some progress. And every day there has been a new development. And we thought, let's get Tom in here and bring us up to speed. So the first thing that we have to sort of back up is it now appears through some of the reporting that's been done on this that once and for all, this is a criminal investigation that the FBI is conducting right now.
Well, yeah, that's been confirmed. Mrs. Clinton has kept classified information in a way that would draw the criminal prosecutorial ire of the Justice Department and the FBI in almost any other circumstance, meaning there'd be a raid. But they've had to admit there is a criminal element to the possible mishandling of classified information.
All right. Now, and you've been involved in this lawsuit, and the judge has been, demanding that the emails get released. Several things have happened. They're not releasing them as fast as you'd like to see them. And then yesterday, I guess it was, Hillary Clinton made a declaration about her emails, her work emails.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton went under oath in a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit at the order of a court. We had filed this lawsuit initially a few years ago to try to get access to information about one of the special deals her aide, Huma Abedin, was getting. She was able to work at the State Department and for one of the Clinton Collective organizations at the same time. We shut the lawsuit down after they said, we looked for records and we couldn't find anything. Then we found out about the Hillary records that they didn't look at. So rather than go through all that again, the court said, you know what? Huma Abedin, Hillary Clinton, and Cheryl Mills, her top chief of staff, you tell us what government records you have on the outside and confirm, and told the state to confirm that it had been all turned over under penalty of perjury. Hillary Clinton said, under penalty of perjury, well, I don't know what this lawsuit's about, but I told someone to turn over all the government records.
That was her declaration.
That's her declaration. So,
not that I have turned them over. It's that I told everybody to turn them over.
Not reassuring. And Huma Abedin and Cheryl Mills didn't even bother to do that. So
how do they get away with that?
Well, I don't think they're going to get away with it. The State Department is the defendant. They may be hauled into court by the end of the day, given their snubbing their noses at the court. In fact, Cheryl Mills, Hillary Clinton's top aide, basically her Valerie Jarrett, been around with her for 20-plus years.
Yeah.
Her lawyer told the State Department, I told Cheryl Mills to destroy the emails and records she had yesterday. So we ran to the court, and the court issued an order to the State Department directing them to tell these folks, telling Hillary, Cheryl Mills, and Huma Abedin not to destroy emails. Federal court demands Hillary go under oath indirectly through the State Department, and also doesn't trust this gang enough so that he had to file a order to require the State Department to tell Hillary Clinton not to destroy records. Incredible developments.
Yeah, and let me ask about two aspects of that. First of all, unlike Tom Brady's phone, we do have a right to see these emails, and they shouldn't be able to destroy them. The lawyer instructed her to destroy these emails. He's an officer of the court. Isn't he bound by certain ethical and legal duties to not destroy evidence under subpoena or under a FOIA request?
Yeah, I mean, you would think the lawyer is Beth Wickelson, and she said, I have copies, and I'm directing my client to destroy, quote, her copies. In the meantime, the State Department had said, don't destroy copies. If you've got electronic copies, keep them. We'll tell you how to dispose of them. And we want all copies of your federal records. And they've sent those letters to Abedin and Cheryl Mills asking for copies of all federal records. You can't even keep any copies, the State Department says.
Yeah.
They haven't asked Hillary Clinton to return all copies of federal records yet, though.
Well, and that's the other question, Tom Fitton, because now we're hearing that her attorney, David Kendall, everyone will remember David Kendall from days gone by. It's so good to have all the Clintons back, isn't it? He has a thumb drive that supposedly has all of these emails on it, which we're now learning are classified. Why does a lawyer without any clearance whatsoever, why is he allowed to have possession of that?
Even if he had clearance, he wouldn't be allowed to have possession of it. And this is an example.
That's the David Petraeus thing,
the Obama administration is acting as an extension of Hillary Clinton's campaign. Plus, the Obama administration and the State Department, they're responsible too. So they don't want to be too hardcore here, because Hillary Clinton would say, Well, you all knew I had this State Department. Obama knew I was using this. I'm going to call these guys as defense witnesses if you come after me. So it's like co-conspirators in a box
How
together.
beautiful would that be, though?
Yeah, now, the fact that the emails that were on the server, we now know a good number of them, apparently contain classified information. It would seem to me that that's sort of a two-edged sword for you in your effort to get more details. For example, it makes the case against Hillary more interesting and maybe even criminal that she wasn't protecting the classified information, and that's a development. The other development is it slows down the process of you now getting the emails from the State Department.
Well, that may be true, but all we want are the records in the end. And we're not entitled to classified information, obviously. And we're just doing Freedom of Information Act requests. And this is what the court said. All we want are the documents in the end. And you need to figure out where the documents are. If Mrs. Clinton is keeping documents, because she had this email system, her aide, at least one of her aides, she admits, was on this email system. And no one looked there when we asked for this records under the Freedom of Information Act. And they told us in the courts they looked everywhere reasonably to find records, and they didn't. Yeah. And now we're just trying to go and get them to look at this whole group of records that we now know still exist. Hillary never deleted them.
Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch is our guest. And Tom, people need to know that Judicial Watch does a lot more than just hound Hillary Clinton for her emails, though we're very glad you do that. But you are a bipartisan organization, and you have the latest lawsuit here against Congress, what last time I checked, run by Republicans. They're pulling some fast ones with regard to Obamacare and the congressional staffers. What is your latest suit here?
Yeah, the lawsuit is actually for a district taxpayer against the District of Columbia over Republican corruption. The District of Columbia runs a small business health exchange under Obamacare.
Right.
Under Obamacare, Congress is supposed to participate in Obamacare.
Right.
Is Congress a small business, anyone? Of course not.
It's one of the biggest businesses in town.
No, so it's 20,000 people. They have, I think, 12,000 plus people on the exchanges. And Congress, in order to apply, both the Senate and the House certified that they had less than 45 or less than 50 people on their payroll.
Hold on. I just want to be clear here. To qualify their staffers in Congress to be in the small business exchange in the District of Columbia, Congress has certified themselves as a small business.
Yeah,
like a mom and pop shop there, a donut store on Connecticut.
And by the way, and the Republicans have been called on this, and the Republicans, more than one Republican senator said, well, my office is like a small business. It's unbelievably arrogant. And for every Republican you hear scream about Obama's lawlessness, well, this is one in which they're complicit. They don't want to have to pay full freight on Obamacare. They didn't like the consequences, so they manipulated the law, and now district taxpayers are subsidizing illegally this lawlessness, and that's what we're trying to stop in court.
Big picture on the emails. Look, you got every investigation that's underway right now seems to be stymied by the fact that the Obama administration or the former Secretary of State under the Obama administration or her staffers, everybody that's involved in this thing seems to be dragging their feet. Do you think we will get to the bottom of some of this stuff? Will we eventually get the documents? Or has this stuff been gone through and sanitized so completely that we'll never, ever get that smoking gun?
Well, I don't know if we'll ever get everything, given Hillary Clinton's proclivity to obstruct justice, but I do think that the court process that we're talking about, whether in this case or another case, because there are multiple federal judges involved now, they're the ones who are going to require the State Department or do it on their own to go and get this whole group of records and get them searched and reviewed. Now, whether the public will be able to see everything on that system, I don't know. But at least we'll have better assurances that someone will have looked at them. Hillary pretends this is her personal server, and that's a legal question and a legal conclusion she's drawn. In fact, I think the court's asking, is this a State Department server? And that's why he's wondering, getting information from Mrs. Clinton. And the information is woefully lacking, and she may have to answer more questions.
Tom Fitton with Judicial Watch, always a pleasure. Thank you for what you're doing there.
Thank you.
Thanks for, judicialwatch.org, correct, Tom?
That is correct.
Go there, support this group, judicialwatch.org.
Thank you.